Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're taking a deep dive into Repairman Jack, a truly unique character. He operates way outside the rules, living in this world where, like, ancient curses meet modern-day New York.
Yeah, it's a
Our
fascinating.
mission today, pull out the most compelling stuff about his unconventional life, this bizarre supernatural mystery swirling around him. Basically give you a shortcut to understanding the strange forces at play here.
And what's really gripping is how fast you get pulled into Jack's world. It's very specific, very secretive, but then bang, it expands. Suddenly you're dealing with this much older, much darker history.
Right.
So we'll be exploring, what drives a guy like this. A man determined to fix wrongs his own way, and how that drags him into a fight way bigger than anything he probably bargained for.
So who is this Repairman Jack? I mean, the source material paints a picture of someone who's anything but ordinary. Let's start with his place.
Oh yeah, the apartment.
His third-floor apartment, it's described as this mix of living and dining room, just packed. Old movie posters like the 1931 Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein.
All that bric-a-brac from
Yeah.
joke stores, right?
Yeah.
And that heavy Victorian oak furniture, like the 7-foot hutch, the clawfoot table. His friend Abe calls it claustrophobic.
Or like the Addams Family decorated by Bauhaus, which is quite a description. It definitely sets a scene of someone, keeping the world out.
And Jack himself,
Yes.
just as distinct. Brown eyes, dark brown hair, average nose.
Mm.
But he's wiry, well-muscled, 5'11".
Got that shit-eating grin, but thin lips, the text says.
Exactly. And his habits tell you a lot. He might be eating Cocoa Puffs for breakfast,
Huh, yeah.
but he always straps on that ankle holster.
No ways.
As a Semmerling LM4 .45 handgun, never goes out unarmed. Even little details like avoiding undershirts because of the humidity. It just screams always ready.
Constantly prepared. And his business philosophy, that's pure Jack.
Yep.
He's a catalyst, he says, for reactions. He fixes things, but outside the law. No checks, no charges, pays cash for everything, hates signing his name.
His office is Pinocchio Productions, right? With Abe's voice on the answering machine.
Yeah, and he keeps his face totally disconnected from the name Repairman Jack. Uses a P.O. box for bills. It's all about secrecy.
Which really makes you ask, why? Why choose this completely anonymous, off-grid life? The text hints there's a deeper reason. Something in his past that shaped him. We'll definitely get to that.
But it also shows us his network. You can't operate like that alone, can you?
Absolutely not. His network is crucial. First, there's Abe Grossman. Runs Isher Sports Shop, sells guns. He's Jack's pessimistic confidant, screens the customers.
He's got that sixth sense, right? For cops or trouble.
Yeah, exactly. Abe's the only one Jack really confides in. Then there's Gia DeLoro.
His ex-lover. Complicated.
Very. Art school grad, commercial artist. She initially saw him as this gentle, eccentric, maybe a security consultant, but later she sees the reality, calls him a thug, a killer.
Yeah, his secrets really strain that relationship. And she's dating someone else now, Carl, who's apparently uncomfortable with Vicky, Vicky being her daughter.
Right. And don't forget Julio, longtime friend, street smart. He also helps screen customers looking out for, official dumb or just angry people.
So, okay, we've got Jack, meticulous, off-grid, kind of strange. You think you've got a handle on him, but this is where it gets really weird.
The call.
An urgent call. Grace Westphalen, she's described as a prim Englishwoman, pushing 70. Gia's great aunt, she just vanished.
Vanished from her yellow townhouse on Sutton Square, went to bed Monday night, gone Tuesday morning, police. No forced entry, no ransom note, nothing.
And Grace's sister, Nellie, also Gia's aunt, calls Gia, specifically asking for Jack's help, even though Gia's hesitant thinks it's not Jack's sort of job.
But she agrees, mostly to ease Nellie's mind.
So Jack takes a look, and this highlights his methods, right? His network.
Definitely.
Yeah.
He finds this unlabeled bottle in Grace's room. Smells strongly herbal, kind of unpleasant. He gets his chemist contact, Joey, to check it out.
And Joey finds an alkaloid, but from India, the subcontinent, he says,
Right.
not North America. Initially, Jack thinks maybe it's a dazzling clue.
So Joey's like, nah, they can help you. Seems like a dead end.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's actually a huge piece of the puzzle. Because we find out Grace was mugged before she disappeared.
Right. Assaulted, beaten up when her car broke down, the mugger scratched her eye.
And stole something specific. An iron necklace with 2 yellow stones. Suddenly, that random mugging doesn't look so random anymore. It connects.
It hints at something much bigger, much weirder. Okay, but to really get Jack why he does what he does, we have to go back.
In the origin story.
Yeah. The moment that basically created Repairman Jack, it's
Yeah.
brutal. His mother was killed, a cinder block thrown from an overpass on the Jersey Turnpike, just senseless.
And Jack's reaction wasn't grief, not in the usual way. It was
Yeah.
focus. He spent weeks waiting, watching that overpass, identified the guy Ed.
And then he pushed him off, the same way his mother died, exacted his own justice.
And that act, it completely rewired him. The text says he felt no guilt, no remorse. It was like someone had shifted the lighting on the world.
Wow.
He instantly became an outsider, felt this glass wall between him and other people. College. It suddenly made no sense. That's the moment he became Repairman Jack, the guy who makes reactions happen.
And that explains so much why he lives outside the system, why relationships are so hard for him, especially with Gia. She's understandably repulsed by that capacity for violence.
Absolutely. And it explains the tension with his father, too. His dad just sees a college dropout, a failure, because Jack can't or won't have a normal life job, wife, kids, Social Security number, IRA.
So Jack lies to him about stock investments, just to keep up the facade, maintain some kind of connection, maybe?
Maybe. Or just avoid the lecture.
Yeah.
So his past clearly shapes his present. But now let's jump back to the main timeline, because this is where those ancient forces really crash into his life.
Right, a phone call from a man named Kusum Bhakti.
And this guy sounds intense from the get-go. One arm, clipped, rapid voice. He calls Jack, insisting no, demanding immediate help. Says his grandmother was beaten.
And Jack notes the tone, right? Kusum is used to getting his way. No refusals allowed. Jack resented it.
Yeah, a real clash of personalities there.
Yeah.
But Jack takes the job, which involves getting back the grandmother's necklace.
The necklace. This is important.
Crucial. It's described as disturbing. Silvery iron, a bit rusty, with two stones like eyes. And Kusum makes a point. Every member of my family wears a necklace like this. It is never removed. And so it is very important that my grandmother's be returned to her.
So it's not just jewelry.
Not at all. This is where the Bhaktis bring in this ancient supernatural dimension. That necklace is key. It connects to Grace's stolen necklace, remember? The iron, the stones.
Okay, so Jack gets the necklace, and then he actually meets the grandmother, Kolabadi Bhakti.
Right, at the Waldorf Astoria, no less. Peacock Alley. She's stunning, wearing the same type of necklace. And she's immediately interested in him. Asks him to tell her everything, especially how you came to be Repairman Jack.
She's sizing him up. And then she starts talking about karma.
Yeah, she explains karma not as fate, but as the burden of good or evil you're at, man. Your soul carries through lifetimes, successive incarnations. You're free to choose good or evil, she says. The goal is moksha, liberation.
And she mentions things like eating beef pollutes that path for them,
Yeah.
setting up their worldview.
Exactly. It's framing the conflict to come. Because then she drops the bombshell. She reveals the existence of Rakoshi.
Okay, what are Rakoshi?
Get this. Cobalt-skinned creatures, 6 or 7 feet tall, fangs, talons, yellow eyes. A mongrelization, she calls it, of reptilian and humanoid forms. And critically, not from this earth.
Whoa. Okay. And they eat people.
They thrive on human flesh. But here's the kicker. Iron weakens them. Fire destroys them. And those necklaces, they make the wearer invisible to the Rakoshi.
Ah, the necklaces. It all clicks.
Precisely. This is the aha moment. Kolabadi connects it all back to the Westphalians. Turns out there's a curse laid by a priestess back in 1857 India. Because Captain Sir Albert Westphalen Nellie and Grace's ancestor raided the temple in the hills. He killed Kolabadi and Kusum's parents, desecrated the temple of Kali. So the curse was put on the Westphalen bloodline to die in blood and pain by dark things.
Rakoshi.
The Rakoshi. And this leads us straight to Kusum. He's not just avenging his ancestors. He found the last Rakosh egg, built a new nest on a rusty freighter docked in New York.
A nest in New York Harbor. Why?
It gets worse. His motive is partly revenge, sure, but it's also political. He believes in Hindutva, a kind of Hindu nationalism, wanting a reunified India under Hindu rule. He plans to use the Rakoshi for his mission back home.
Use them how?
You find out more later, but it's terrifying. And we also learn he was the one who killed Richard Westphalen. That's Gia's ex-husband, Vicky's father in London last year. Part of his vow to wipe out the Westphalen line.
This guy is beyond fanatic. The danger level just skyrockets.
Absolutely. And it hits close to home for Jack. Because then Nellie disappears, just like Grace. And Jack starts putting things together, that foul odor, the fleeting glimpses of yellow eyes he saw near his apartment, near Nellie's place. It's the Rakoshi.
They're closing in.
And then the most terrifying near miss. Vicky, Gia's daughter. She almost eats an orange. An orange left for her by Kusum, doctored with some kind of Rakoshi elixir. Jack finds the needle punctured just in time.
Oh my God. So Vicky was the next target. This raises that question, doesn't it? Jack, the loner, the guy who keeps everyone at arm's length.
Yeah.
What happens when the people he actually does care about are directly threatened?
It shows his commitment, definitely. Maybe even growth. He immediately prioritizes their safety over his own secrecy, his whole system, and you can feel the toll it takes on him.
Yeah. And then Kolabadi reveals the absolute horror. The young Rakoshi, the ones in the nest, they call Kusum Kakaji.
Which means father in Bengali.
Sure.
Kusum impregnated the mother Rakosh back when she was young, maybe more docile. That's why the young ones are smaller and paler, and why they can speak. It's grotesque.
Unbelievable. So Jack has to get Gia and Vicky out now.
Immediately. He moves them to Abe's daughter's empty apartment out in Queens, puts the whole island of Manhattan between Kusum and his intended victims, as the text says. He tries to reassure them, keeps a calm face, but inside, he's terrified.
Okay, so this brings us to the climax, the big confrontation. Jack knows where the nest is. He knows what he has to do.
He gears up, uses his skills to get aboard Kusum's freighter. Notices the weird contrast, a rusty old ship, but inside, advanced computer controls.
And he's brought tools for the job, courtesy of Abe. Incendiary bombs, timers, and a flamethrower.
You know, it's serious when the flamethrower comes out. He gets down to the hold. And there they are. Dozens of Rakoshi.
Yeah.
Cobalt skin, 6, 7 feet tall, fangs, talons, just as described. He sets the bombs, 45 minutes on the clock. Tick-tock.
Then the face-off with Kusum.
And more revelations. Kusum is incredibly old. Born 1846, Kolabadi 1850. Their long life, their healing. It's from the necklaces. But they're not immortal, not invulnerable.
And there was something else. Between Kusum and Kolabadi.
Yeah, the text reveals an incestuous relationship, just adding another layer of darkness. Kusum taunts Jack, mentions killing Vicky's father again, just pure evil.
Then he proposes this weird trial by combat for Vicky, hand-to-hand fight.
Like some ancient code of honor. And Jack, seeing a chance, maybe the only chance to guarantee Vicky's safety, he pretends to agree.
But Repairman Jack doesn't really do honorable duels when lives are on the line, does he?
Not this time. His priority is Vicky. So he makes the choice. He abandons the duel, raises the flamethrower, and just engulfs Kusum in flames. Brutal. Efficient. Jack's way.
Even as he's burning, Kusum reaches for them. Still obsessed.
Yeah, consumed by his hate and obsession right to the very end. Horrifying image. But wait, it's not quite over.
No, the ship explodes, right?
The ship explodes, yes. A massive fireball, debris everywhere. The nest is gone. But one Rakosh escapes. The mother.
Kusum's mate.
Exactly. And she finds Jack, tracks him to the roof of his own apartment building. He's injured, exhausted.
So final battle on the roof. How does he handle this?
Improvisation.
Yeah.
Pure Jack. He remembers this old diesel generator he bought back during the '77 blackout. He rips off an exhaust pipe.
Uses it as a spear.
Yep. Impales the mother Rakosh against his smokestack. But that only holds her. He needs fire. He remembered the Kolabadi's words. Fire and iron.
The diesel fuel.
Got it. Douses her with fuel from the generator, flicks his lighter, and incinerates her. Finally, it's over. The ship is burning out in the bay. Kusum's mission is finished.
Wow. Okay, so aftermath. What does this leave Jack with? What does it mean for his world?
Well, immediately. He's injured. He's completely drained. He gets back to his apartment, kind of hoping Kolabadi isn't there. He dreads having to tell her about Kusum. But underneath the exhaustion, there's pride, satisfaction. He knows he made a difference.
And Gia and Vicky.
They're safe in Queens. And there's this interesting shift in Gia. Remember how she saw him as a thug? Now, the text says she finds reluctant comfort in his ability to be effectively violent when needed. It saved him.
But Vicky, she's traumatized, isn't she? That necklace Jack tried to give her for protection, she's terrified of it.
Yeah, the scars are deep for her. And Kolabadi's fate, it's actually left open. She was on the ship, trapped. Did she escape before the explosion? Jack seems to assume her necklace would protect her somehow. He plans to try and trace her later.
So not all loose ends tied up.
Not quite. Which brings us right to the end of this deep dive. It really highlights the immense personal cost of Jack's way of doing things, its unique, brutal brand of justice.
Yeah.
And it leaves you thinking, doesn't it? In a world where these ancient evils can just pop up,
Yeah.
where the lines between good and bad get so incredibly blurry.
Yeah.
It's Jack's approach, that ruthless, uncompromising way, maybe the only thing that actually works.
And what does that mean for a guy like Jack? Knowing the fight probably never really ends, it just shifts. On to the next problem, the next secret, the next monster in the shadows.
A pretty heavy thought to end on.